People's Radio United.
It's the big game, man. I mean, there's a lot of people that I always look back to Mussolini's definition of fascism. It is the combining of corporate world and the government. That's exactly what's happening.
Yeah, here in the U.S., we sprinkle in a little religion, too.
Well, I mean, that's just manufacturing consent of a select part of the population. That's all that is.
Yeah.
Well, this is a country that has had the third president was a child rapist who raped his child slave and forced her to have children. And as recently as when I was a child myself, Bill Clinton was president. You have even Gloria Steinem, who was a rat for the Central Intelligence Agency. She also said she had the chance, she'd do it again, meaning working for the CIA. Herself, she said, and a big Hillary Clinton stan, hung out with both of them, Bill and Hillary. She said, Mr. Clinton seems to have made a clumsy sexual pass, then accepted rejection. She also said that he's a candidate for sex addiction therapy. And
every rich person that gets caught doing something is a candidate for some kind of therapy resort they can go to.
Yeah, even Tiger Woods. Granted, Tiger didn't as far as didn't hurt anybody other than just emotionally hurting his wife by cheating. But yes, you're right. That's is commonplace. Keep the rich out of prison. Put the poor in prison. Kevin Cooper, and if you don't know who he is, Google him. Is a innocent black prisoner on death row in California. He said himself that you look at everybody on death row, there's one thing in common.
Yeah,
we're all poor. Now, I don't, for the most part, I do not agree with the death penalty. And that being said, you would think if anybody deserves a death penalty, it'd be someone, Trump, either Clinton, Roy Moore. No. These people are trying to reach the highest office, and some of them actually did run the entire country, which happens to be the most powerful country on earth. This is the United States of America, people. This is what it has always done. Sexual assault is okay. Racism is okay. The two, when connected, certainly okay.
The richer you are, the more crimes you can commit and have no charges brought against you of any sort. And some of these crimes actually become legal and condoned the richer and more powerful you get. That's the United States. It's really twisted.
Exactly. Wealth equals absolution. And that's tying in religion to money. And that's the big cancer. Right there.
Well said, Glenn.
Yeah. Well,
let's nailed it.
Let's segue this into Mueller looking into Trump's bank records. That we'll move up on the list because we started low. Let's move up and then we'll go and do all the updates at the end, I guess.
All right. Let me guess. Trump doesn't want Mueller looking into his bank records.
Well, he said
but
there's
not because he's guilty of anything.
No, he said there's the line he draws. He doesn't want that's the line. So I mean, is he going to fire Mueller? Is this investigation going to be over with by Christmas and there's nothing going to be found? That's what Trump claims. And they're looking into his financial records, and most people, it's kind of almost common knowledge that Trump in the past has laundered a lot of money for gangsters and political people around the world.
Yeah, I mean that's pretty common knowledge. I think this is the do or die moment for this investigation. Mueller, I think, is really rolling the dice and taking a risk by going after Trump's money. He's probably banking on the idea that Trump can't like it would just be suicide for Trump to shut him down, but you can't say that for sure. I think Mueller's just taking a very calculated risk here. He's risking the whole thing for Trump's financials, because it doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure out, if you follow the money, you're going to nail Trump for a lot more than just Russia. You're probably going to nail him for human trafficking. That's a safe bet. You're going to nail him for, like you said, money laundering for mafia.
Child labor.
Child labor. Illegal immigrant labor.
Well, that
He
depends.
does that.
I think where they do the child labor, it's actually legal because they do that in other countries in these sweatshops. So I
But
don't know
it's-
if they could get him for that.
But it's not legal according to U.S. law, and there are trade agreements where that is, the Americans are supposed to have a principled stand. If you're using child labor, then we're not importing your shit. But
Yeah.
this workaround with Americans owning the sweatshops, oh, well, that's different now. It's almost like if you're American, you're allowed to get filthy rich off of child labor. But if you're a native of where the child labor is, no, I'm sorry, we're not going to make you rich.
Yeah, I think there probably is some kind of law there, but it's probably some kind of a gray area, or it's a law that just doesn't get enforced because overall it's like too much hassle
Yeah.
to enforce it. Like I know you can't go to another country. Like if you, an American citizen, goes to another country to have sex with a child, when you come back, you can be prosecuted for that by the letter of the law. Does it happen? No, I've never seen it happen, but it's a law that's on the books, and if this child labor thing is going on, even though it's never been enforced before, if you have all this other stuff that Trump is found guilty of, then it's pretty easy for Mueller to throw that in there too, because people are going to be like, fuck yeah, nail him, burn him, So, I mean, that's just my thought on that.
Well, I think Nolan mentioned that Mueller's taking a calculated risk. Well,
I did, yeah.
Oh, okay. I think the basis of that is that Angela Merkel is still in charge in Germany. We know how her and Trump get along. And Deutsche Bank has had more than enough scandal in the last 5 years. And they may see this as an opportunity for them to hype up their corporate image and say, see, we've learned our lesson. Now we're helping. So
I like that idea.
I don't really think that Trump can accomplish anything by firing Mueller. It'll just make him the lightning rod. It's a very easy connection that he has a lot to hide if he would do it. He already went through enough bullshit from firing Comey. So I think he's learned that lesson. I think he's going to try and pressure Deutsche Bank, if anything.
Well,
And
the whole thing is... Oh, go ahead.
No, and his friends will.
Well, yeah. I think the whole thing, though, is, okay, if he fires Mueller, then what? I mean, there is, like, for him, it's a risk to fire Mueller, but I mean, we have no idea what the fuck happens if Mueller gets fired. Does the investigation just get called off at that point?
Trump was saying he wants his own intelligence agency, not under all the government rules and stuff.
Yeah,
like a private intelligence agency run by the Blackwater guy.
Yeah,
I'm guessing that would be the one investigating him at that point, and of course they would clear him, and that might be the gamble Trump is willing to take.
Well, we have precedent for that. It's called the Geheimstatspolizei, the Gestapo.